Alright, the final process, the finishing touches. So I'm going to use Photoshop and the original raw file that we shot in the first portions of the video. So we're just going to go to Open. If you use Lightroom, you can do this through Lightroom. I'm sure you know how to open it in Lightroom. I just don't like Lightroom. Never have. Alright, and I don't like fussing around very much. Some images I'll take a lot of time with, but most images I do I hit the auto. If I don't like it, obviously I'll tweak it further. I always bring the blacks back down a little bit because it always brings them up too high. And it frequently adjusts the exposure in ways that I'm not happy with, but this time it seems to have done a good job. Vibrance is frequently too high too from the auto, but it seems like it did an okay job this time. Then simply go to curves, and I'll tweak this a little bit till I like the balance between the dark shadows and light. When you bring the blacks down in the previous section, this can recover them without blowing them out generally. And that's about all I'm going to do in the raw lab. Actually, maybe should have done something with the color temperature, but alright, the next thing I do on all of them, every stack, Topaz Labs, either denoise or sharpen. Denoise if I've done long exposures, and if I've done quick exposures like we did with this one, Sharpen AI will almost always do the job for you. And here's your preview screen. Your previews will take longer to update if you zoom out. I usually just preview at 100%. It's best to see the details. Find an area in the image that's most important for you, that it be looking good. I never use stabilize. Stabilize, in my opinion, is only for saving an image that you just absolutely need to have that image, but it's really blurry. If you use it, it puts artifacts all over in your image. Sharpen or focus are what you're going to want. Usually focus is the one that works out to be the best. I always put the settings switch to auto. Turn off auto update preview. It's annoying as hell. So I'm going to go to focus. I usually put some grain back in, about 20. It seemed counterproductive to me when I first saw it, but it doesn't put back noise. It just makes the image look more realistic. Probably don't need extra noise suppression on this image. So we're going to hit update to get a preview. If you're using the denoise software, the updating will take a lot longer. Denoise software takes a lot more processing power. And this sharpening software also does a lot of denoise. It does a great job of doing denoise. You see the difference? Look at that. Huge, huge difference. It's all blurry. Well, it's not blurry, but it's not sharp. And just beautiful difference there. And we can take a look and see how it looks doing the sharpen instead. This is probably the lowest amount of sharpening you'll get is from this feature. And it's an improvement, but the focus one really, let's bring the sharpness back just a hair. Update it again. And once you're happy with where it is, hit apply. And we'll do a nice little fancy wipe to get to the end of this. This will take a minute or two. Doesn't usually take too long. If you're doing the denoise, this will take several minutes. I love the Topaz software. It's great. been very pleased with it. It's saved images that I would have thrown in the trash that ended up good enough that I could print them afterwards in some cases. If you come down here to this little half-filled circle, select it and go to color lookup. And right here, I wouldn't mess with these other ones. They're weird and mostly ugly, but in this top drop down, if you go to the second one down, it frequently makes the image pop nicely. I'm not sure if I like the look of that one though. You can click and hold this eyeball with the arrow on it, and it'll show you the original version. And there's a bunch of different looks you can get. You can just hit the down arrow on your keyboard and cycle through them. And I guess you can download more of these to put in your system. I think I'm going to undo it and just go with the original look. I do kind of like the look of that, but alright, file. I'm going to save this as a JPEG. And that concludes this tutorial, I believe, finally, after lots of frustration. Next is the mind-numbing process of editing. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm ready for a nap. I'm tired. It's been a long day.